Before I begin, I want to say this. You should never, ever go out at night. There are things out there that I just don't want you to know. Things that prowl and hunt in the darkness. Things that are attracted to light and sound. But when it falls silent and the moon hangs heavy in the sky, they come alive. And what I'm about to tell you happened in broad daylight. Imagine what goes down when the sun goes down. Now listen closely. This is the terrifying true horror story of the Phantom Killer of Texarkana. In 1946, Texarkana was a small town, community with a population of around 22,000 people living in the piney woods of East Texas. Back then, it was known as the City of Tomorrow. But what I'm about to tell you makes it seem more like the City of Fear. It all started on April, at around 9:30 p.m. A young couple, 19-year-old Bobby and 18-year-old Jean, were parked in a secluded lover's lane known as the Y. They were listening to music, drinking a little bit of booze and generally being very, very quiet. Then suddenly, the music stopped and an eerie silence fell over the lover's lane. They heard footsteps near the car. At first, it was just one step, then another, then another. It sounded like someone was walking around the car. Whoever it was, though, kept out of sight, and after a few minutes, the footsteps faded into the darkness. Maybe it was a stray dog or some drunk teenagers playing a prank. Maybe it was nothing. But whatever it was, it put an end to Bobby and Jean's date, and soon they were making plans to leave town. But 2 days later, another couple, 17-year-old Billy and his girlfriend, were parked up at the same spot. About 11 o'clock that night, they too heard footsteps. A man was walking around the outside of their car. He was whistling a tune. He seemed jovial. Then he knocked on the window. Billy wound it down slightly, and the man leaned in. He told them to get out of the car, that he wanted to see what was inside. Billy refused and told him to piss off. That's when the man disappeared. Just like that, he vanished into the darkness. And those two couples were only the beginning. Over the next 2 years, 7 people would be killed in Texarkana. It's 4 couples and 1 lone woman. All of them were attacked in the same way by the same man, except he only actually killed 3 of them. The others survived, but not without their nightmares. At first, the police didn't think much of it. A robbery gone wrong, maybe a jealous ex-boyfriend. But then another attack happened, and then another, and another. People began to panic. Was there a monster on the loose? Some kind of axe-wielding maniac? Was Texarkana cursed? Eventually the FBI got involved, but even they couldn't find the killer. The attacks happened all over town, in isolated places and in broad daylight. The victims were mostly teenagers, couples in love, enjoying themselves, holding hands, kissing, and then it all ended so violently, so brutally. One minute they were laughing and joking, having the time of their lives, and the next they were fighting for their lives. You see, this guy was a sadist. He liked to torture his victims before killing them. He would beat them with an axe or a heavy blunt object, sometimes breaking their bones. He even tried to decapitate one of his victims, but her head was too far from her body, so he failed. But that wasn't because he wasn't trying. The survivors' stories were consistent. They all described the same man, over 6 feet tall, wearing a hat and gloves, and always a dark suit. They called him the Phantom Killer, the Moonlight Murderer, the Texarkana Moonlight Murders. But to the people of Texarkana, he was known simply as the Tall Man. Today, this case remains unsolved, which is why I'm asking you. Please tell me your thoughts. Who do you think was responsible? Do you think it was one person or multiple people working together? Let me know your theories below. In 1952, the FBI did catch a suspect, a man named John Bontaine. He fit the description, and he had the perfect motive. His sister had been one of the victims, and he was also in prison for a similar crime. But when the FBI showed the witnesses a lineup, they all said he wasn't the man they saw that night. And to this day, nobody knows what happened in Texarkana. Nobody knows who the tall man really was. All I know is this: never go out at night.